find it interesting that this is the second time in the last 4 years that Auburn has gone to Georgia, ranked number 1. We're very fortunate to get out of Stegeman Coliseum and win by 2 when Wendell Green made a bucket at the buzzer. We've had, we've had some success over there, but the games have all been, really incredible. I'm sure this is sold out, and the environment will be, will be hostile. And, I'm sure we'll have witnesses that'll make the trip over there. So it should be just a great environment. Silas Demery, their point guard, is there's going to be a really interesting matchup with him and Denver Jones, 2 big physical guards that both can really guard. I anticipate they'll guard each other, and that's going to be, quite a matchup. You don't usually talk about that because we do so much switching with our guards, but that's going to be an interesting matchup. And then, of course, Asa Newell, is one of the very best freshmen in the country, and he, along with several of the other guys on Georgia's roster, are guys that we recruited and did not get. Several of Georgia's players were guys that we recruited and did not get. And Asa certainly is probably at the top of that list, but great player, great offensive rebounder, great motor. He's got an NBA body at 6'11" and long. He's the best offensive rebounder in our league. And particularly his offensive rebounds just lead to buckets because he gets in there pretty deep. Mike White's done a great job with that program, turning that program around, and having them be, probably the most competitive they've been, in a long time. Certainly, and so, yeah, it's another quad 1 opportunity for us, and we'll have to continue to play really, really well, being down a man.
All right, questions?
A big man.
Bruce, Georgia's defense, much improved this season statistically. What stands out about them on that end? That's been something they've really, really leaned on so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia is very athletic. They defend. They defend very physically. They sink. They strip and rip. The way they guard, getting through screens, or physical getting through screens. They're physical offensively, setting screens. Probably setting screens and getting through screens are 2 things that I think their physicality has been stepped up. Obviously, they turn people over. Their steal percentage is really, really high. I just think bigger bodies, like they've got great size in the backcourt, great length, and their front line is bigger than most. So I think the combination of their size, their strength, their physicality, the way they're built. This is a real good collection of athletes. It's also a really deep team that they're playing 8 or 9 guys 20-something minutes, or at least 7 or 8 guys 20-something minutes. So really balanced, and I think it's a team that on any given night, other than Demery and Newell bringing it every night, I think they have 2 or 3 guys that step up each night, but not always the same guy. So it's a talented team. It's the most talented they've had in Georgia in a while. Georgia's made a real commitment in NIL, a tremendous commitment. And we used to go to Georgia, and because of the fact that we have had success, develop players, we got about 6 guys from Georgia in the NBA right now. We go over there and really do well in recruiting. And for a lot of factors, including NIL, we can't go there and get the best players anymore.
Bruce, have you seen some maturing from Chad Baker-Mazara, especially with the way he handles other players, maybe trying to get his head, and maybe now he's sort of turning it the other way, and maybe sort of get other players upset with him, maybe?
Yeah, I think that I think that Chad has done a really good job recognizing that a couple things. One, he's one of our best players on right now the #1 ranked team in the country, so he's going to get a lot of attention. And the scouting report will be to try and hit him and hold him, and grab him, and have some extracurricular contact with him, and that stuff would upset any player, but he gets it every single night. He'll get it at Georgia. He'll get it against Tennessee next week, and so. But he has done a better job sort of realizing this is just how people are going to guard me and try to stop me, and he's done I would say just learning and handling his passion. He's so passionate, and like I said the other night, he's such an effective player that he's playing through some of that garbage.
Bruce, any update on Johni first, and then without him, just the value of guys like Miles, those guards rebounding and helping out in those areas, how big is that?
Well, Miles Kelly has always been a really good rebounding guard. Put up good rebounding numbers at Georgia Tech, and he's doing it again now. The area that Miles has improved the most on is his efficiency numbers. He's shooting a great percentage from three. He's not turning the ball over, and he's playing great defense and rebounding the ball. So that whole NBA 3 and D thing, he embodies it. I think the fact again that he's out there with Chad and Denver, who are elite defenders, and Miles, I think, has always been capable, but he's always been counted on it to carry the load offensively. That takes a lot of effort and a lot of energy. He's now able to direct some of that effort and energy to his being an elite defender. And obviously we've been beneficiary as a team. And yeah, Johni will not practice today.
Dylan and Cheney did a great job of staying out of foul trouble, especially early. Georgia's been a team that goes to the line quite a bit at home.
Yep, Georgia goes to the line a lot. They go to the line at home, and we're going to do everything we can when they drive into us and create contact and put their head down and do the things that they'll do to make the whistle blow. We're just trying to do the best job we can to be vertical and to not foul them. They're a great free throw shooting team. In league play, they're shooting like 89% from the foul line, and they go there 21 times a game. So it's an important way for them to score. We'll do the best we can to defend without fouling.
President Cheney's matchup on Cam Matthews was big for y'all. Do you expect him to be the primary guy for Asa Newell, and what have you seen from your teams when they're able to get out in front of Asa?
Yeah, I think that both Dylan and Cheney did a great job on Mississippi with Mississippi State's front line. Did a great job staying out of foul trouble. Obviously, they blocked a lot of shots because they were second off the floor. Georgia does a great job with their ball screen offense and their spacing. They're better probably from two and from free than they are from three, but they shoot it really well at home. And so they're undefeated at home. So we're just going to have to do a great job, guarding them. They've got depth in the front line, and so in addition to Asa Newell, who's a great talent, they got 3 or 4 other guys that will play in there. And so, but I thought Chris Moore and Jaheim Hudson both did a really good job off the bench. Jakai Howard played more, and even though he didn't score quite like he normally does, he missed a couple shots. He defended really well. Chris defended really well. Jaheim defended really well. And so the bench, helped us hang in there when our best player was down.
Just going off of that, it's been a few games in a row that both of the freshmen coming off the bench, they have positive plus minus. Obviously, Todd had a really good scoring game the other night. Just how much have you seen them continue to kind of grow and develop into a team that's got so much experience? They're just fitting right in.
Well, I think because they both got pretty good basketball IQ, because they both have got, I'm talking about the freshmen, great basketball futures ahead of them professionally. That this senior-laden team kind of embraced them, taught them, coached them, challenged them, and recognized that we need them. And Todd certainly is probably one of the best freshmen in the country coming off the bench. Like, he's probably the best freshman in the country coming off the bench, right? And Jakai would be playing a lot more basketball if it wasn't the fact that he's on a team with Miles Kelly, Denver Jones, and Chad Baker all basically playing his position. So they've done really well. They've gotten better, and as a result, when we go to the bench, we don't drop off.
If you talk about the way you guys have defended on the perimeter, I mean, look back at Hubbard, 2 for 10, think back to Braden Smith, and you guys kind of handled him. What has gone into how you've been able to defend a lot of these guards?
Well, I think in defending these guards, first of all, we have more size and more length in the backcourt this year, and that size and that length has made us better defensively. The second thing is our bigs do a good job of impacting in ball screens, and so that a lot of times the way to get guys free are to put them in ball screens, and our bigs have done a good job of impacting. Georgia will set screens and get their guards open for shots and advantage, disadvantage in the perimeter. Our guards have got to be physical, getting through screens, and our bigs have got to be at the level to help them get through screens. But I think it's a combination of our guards' commitment, their size, their length, their physicality, the freshmen's willingness to learn. Miles getting caught up on a new system pretty quickly because we have 3 new guards. Chris Moore, again, is always so solid and a great communicator. But it's a combination of, their ability, their buying into the defensive system, the job that Stephen Pearl's done as a defensive coordinator, and also our bigs help them get through stuff. You put that all together, and that's why we haven't been where guards were tearing us up the last couple of years. That's just not the case because our guards are better one-on-one defenders. They're bigger, and our bigs are giving them more help.
You guys had a lot of unassisted baskets, the other night against Mississippi State. You talked about the way state guards not having Johni there, but just how much of a big difference have you seen from this offense this year? Because you have a number of guys who can go get their own bucket off the dribble, can go create, as opposed to maybe in years past.
A lot depends on the way the defense plays. Mississippi State, played a certain way, and as a result, we didn't have as many assisted baskets as we did. Part of it, we didn't play through the post. When you're playing through the post and Johni gets doubled and he has 4 assists a game just inside out, we didn't necessarily have that. So you have to find other ways to score. And I don't know that the formula is going to be the same for Mississippi State as it will be against Georgia. We are down one of the most dynamic offensive players in college basketball. An old school center that can score with his back to the basket one-on-one. If you double him, he can pass it to anybody, and he does a great job of getting to the foul line. He's unselfish. We don't have that. We have to find other ways to score.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Vic.